Mrs. Essien has let the cat out of the bag. Now you know why I'm here. It's to increase my visibility among arbitrators. I was surprised to hear praises of Nigerian tea yesterday, because I have always believed that Kenyan tea was the best in the world. Now I know there is a possibility that I might have been mistaken. My thanks to the Nigerian branch of Chartered Institute of Arbitrators for allowing me to come here and present my paper. It is on how the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators can assist in the integration of arbitration in Africa. And the subtitle is The Missing Link. So I'll start with some reflections on the missing links. I'm sure you are familiar with the missing links. Evolutionists often speak of missing links or a missing link, which is, for instance, the hypothetical ape-man ancestor. They believe it is in the fossils out somewhere awaiting discovery. And indeed, new missing links are discovered every year. And just when you thought that the scientists were done, they come up with new links. If the evolutionists were appearing before me as an arbitrator, and they kept making applications for extensions of time to submit new exhibits, I would be flexible once or twice. But somewhere down the line, I would ban more applications and give an award on the available evidence. The links which present challenges to the integration of arbitration in Africa are not missing. They are easily identifiable, but they are a little messy, and they will require some time and effort to tidy up. This presentation outlines the role of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators in integrating arbitration in Africa. The environment. That's the environment. It's all in favor of integration, except the last point there, which I don't need to elaborate much about. So I'll go to the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, and I have called it the sleeping giant. I'll explain to you why. Think of the arbitration clauses. That's the typical arbitration clause we use in Kenya. I am sure you have such a clause in Nigeria, and that such a clause is used elsewhere in the world. You just change the name of the country. Does anything in that clause say that only a Kenyan can be appointed by the chairman of Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Kenya branch? Does it say that one must be a member of the Kenyan branch to be appointed? Now, the narrow interpretation of such clauses have served national branches well because their members benefit from the appointments. But the future calls for opportunities to expose the members to the world. Obviously, the branches have to do that on reciprocation basis in order to ensure a balance between the inflow and outflow of arbitrator appointments. Such an approach could also be appropriate where the notoriety of one or both parties in one country is such that the independence and impartiality of the arbitrator from that country is uncertain. Then the arbitration causes. The branches abroad are very innovative. In addition to the modules and the accelerated routes, the branches offer some tailor-made courses for specific target groups. I'll give you examples. The London and Australian branch offer a 9-day residential course known as the Diploma in International Commercial Arbitration. It is a fast-track option to CIAB membership, fellowship, I beg your pardon. Now, the Ireland branch also has a 3-day course which leads to fellowship. No other branches elsewhere offer such courses. Unfortunately, the failure rate in such courses is quite high because many candidates do not prepare adequately. However, this is a common phenomenon in all the countries, and it should not be used to deny African branches the opportunity to run those courses. Currently, interested participants from Africa have to travel to Dublin, Oxford, and Kuala Lumpur at considerable cost to attend the courses there. Some African branches even introduce alien conditions in the modules and accelerated courses, all in the guise of maintaining high standards. It brings to mind Chinua Achebe writing in Things Fall Apart about professional mourners who wail louder than the bereaved at the funerals. African branches must uphold the very high professional standards set by London, but they should also embrace innovation and stop wearing blinkers. The other subheading there is removing the rotten coconut. A rotten apple can be seen from a distance. Not so with a coconut, which you realize is rotten after you have paid for it, taken it home, and broken it, only to find slimy mucus inside. Similarly, you discover too late that your arbitrator is inexperienced or incompetent. The CIAB system of disciplining errant arbitrators is very, very vibrant in London. It did not spare a former CIAB president when he misbehaved in an arbitration a few years ago. Unfortunately, the system has not permeated to the branches. So offended parties in the African branches or who use the services of the African branches do not complain to London because of the cost implications, and because there is no viable local option, they just keep quiet. The disciplinary system should be devolved to the branches because they are the ones which make arbitral appointments, and they are closer to the action, so they can process complaints efficiently and at minimal cost. The next point is about ad hoc versus administered arbitrations. CIAB branches somehow are very fond of ad hoc arbitrations. They adopt a hands-free approach, restricting themselves to appointments and have no reporting mechanisms, such that they have no idea at any one time if the arbitrator they appointed 5 years ago has completed the arbitration. They should be more proactive in following up ad hoc arbitrations. Incidentally, ad hoc arbitrations have never made a single arbitration organization great. The branches need to diversify into or even specialize in administered arbitrations in order to train their members, boost user confidence, and grow as reputable arbitration institutions. That is how they can evolve into centers of excellence in arbitration. The next title is, what is Francophone Africa saying? Has anyone here got a clue? And does Francophone Africa understand what we are saying? I think it's very important for the integration of Africa of arbitration in Africa to involve French-speaking countries in Africa. We also need an authentic Afrocentric arbitration agenda. African arbitration practitioners need to interact and to discuss African issues. The national and regional arbitration conferences held the last 5 years have been eye-openers. The attendances, participation, and presentations have been excellent. The CIAB Centenary Conference, which was held in Zambia a few months ago, was a great success. However, conferences are very costly, especially the international ones. Yet, African branches cannot afford to wait another 100 years to hold the next centenary event. Continental arbitration conferences should be introduced and should become a regular feature. Probably we could hold continental arbitration conferences every 2 to 3 years due to the cost, and the venue could rotate among the African cities. The mindset of the membership also has to change. A CIAB branch could sponsor a few members for arbitration conferences once in a while. It might even pay the travel and accommodation expenses for the speakers. However, requiring sponsorship to attend or speak in arbitration events would retard individual arbitrators' careers and impoverish the branches. Members must see the conferences as genuine networking and learning opportunities worth paying for. The next subtitle is Sleeping on the Job. The African branches have over 2,500 members and are growing faster than the other branches. Many more people have attended the institution's various courses without formalizing the membership. CIAB should consolidate its position as the premier arbitration body and not merely a trainer on arbitration. Unfortunately, the CIAB branches seem to have become impotent. They have not given birth to chapters or branches in any of their neighboring countries. Nigeria has not developed branches within the region. I hope I'm mistaken. Please correct me. In Ghana and Rwanda. No, Rwanda is not in your neighborhood. It's not a neighboring country. That one is a wild oat. Ghana, yes, you are trying, well done, keep it up. But that is after 20 years. Now, Kenya has not done very well either. It has not developed branches in Tanzania, Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, or Somali. Okay, we helped in establishing the Nigerian branch, and also the branch in Zambia. But again, those are not in our neighborhood. Those are wild oats. We need to be more consistent. By now, we should have a cluster of about 5 or 6 vibrant CIAB branches in West Africa and a similar cluster in East Africa. Now, Cairo branch, the president might tell us what is happening in Cairo branch. I have no idea. I also don't know what is happening in South Africa, but it cannot be much. That is what I mean, that CIAB branches in Africa are sleeping on the job. CIAB remains at the forefront in training arbitrators and of professionalizing the arbitration field in Africa and worldwide. No other arbitration organization even comes close. At the same time, national pride and rising Pan-Africanism frown upon all things foreign. And the tag Kenya branch or Nigeria branch can be a liability in some situations. CIAB has to come up with strategies to position itself appropriately in order to remain acceptable and relevant in Africa. In closing, are you familiar with The Lion and the Jewel? Like Baroka in Wole Soyinka's book, The Lion and the Jewel, CIAB has resources and proven experience. We let loose Sidi, the ultimate jewel, to the lacuneless of this world. Characters who have appeared lately with sweet promises, but who are not prepared to pay the price, which is the sheer toil of training arbitrators from scratch. To win, Baroka, who is here, must listen to Sadiku. This senior wife might be a little mischievous, but she is loyal. She acknowledges Baroka's missing link and skillfully turns it into an asset in order to deliver the jewel. Long live CIAB. Thank you.